difficult decisions, then why are decisions so hard to make? Hi, I'm Alice, an assistant manager from Buchler Phillips, and I'll be talking to you today about my background in the insolvency industry and how I've navigated some key decisions that brought me to this point. As a relatively decisive person, I find day-to-day decisions quite straightforward. What shall I eat for breakfast? What shall I wear today? All simple decisions that don't require a second thought. The difficult decisions are those decisions which have an outcome that will bring about a noticeable change. Take a second to think about this. If you're faced with a change in life, how does this make you feel? Growing up, my natural reaction to change was that it is a negative thing, and that therefore anything which disrupted the current state of things is negative. I did my GCSEs and A-levels at Brighton College, a school with rigorous academic standards that viewed any mark under 100% as a failure. By attending this school, my future was mapped out for me with very clear steps. You must first get good GCSEs and A-levels so that you can obtain a degree from a Russell Group university and go on to get a place at a graduate scheme for a big firm. This was portrayed as the only option for the future. I just liked reading and learning new things, so I was quite happy to go along with this path that was idealised for me. I had no clear idea of what I wanted to do, so I took great comfort having this all mapped out ready. I did my A-levels and English literature, philosophy and economics, and had a very vague notion of going into law after university. Suits was popular at the time. My school recommended that rather than doing a law degree, that I do a degree in a subject that I enjoyed with useful transferable skills and to do a law conversion afterwards. Choosing a degree is a very difficult decision for anybody, and I spent months trying to decide between philosophy and English literature. I chose philosophy, but I wasn't sure that this was the right decision, and at that age I viewed any decision in quite black and white terms of either right or wrong. I was terrified that if I chose what I would view as the wrong degree, that I would have to restart first year, and that I would then fall behind on the predetermined track laid out for me, which naturally I wanted to avoid at all costs. I accepted a place to study philosophy at the University of St Andrews, because you got to spend 2 years studying 3 subjects, and didn't have to decide your degree until the end of second year. So I got to spend 2 years doing both philosophy and English lit before ultimately deciding to pursue a philosophy degree, which is the decision that I had made in the first place. So perhaps I should have trusted my gut, but I'm so grateful that I got to do an English degree, and I will never have to wonder what if I had made another decision. This approach has stuck with me ever since. I never want to regret my choices, even if I can't control the outcome of them. The next big decision that I was faced with was finally trying to decide what career to pursue after university. As after years of assuming that I would go into law, I finally researched it and realised that law was not for me. I think that happens to a lot of us. It's amazing looking back how quickly I made the move from looking at vacation schemes to accounting summer internships. Again, not very imaginative, but I had realised that law wasn't for me. My memory was not good, and I was quite excited by the prospect of the ACAs and doing accounting, so I felt comfortable moving forward in that direction. Another unimaginative move from me was that I wanted to take an internship at one of the big 4 in London, but unfortunately I found out that almost everybody who speaks English also has that goal. So I took a slightly different approach and took a chance. I applied for EY Dublin office and their 3-month internship. I was assigned restructuring at random, and I had no idea what it was, I'll be honest, but I spent 3 months working on behalf of the fixed charge receiver, working on lots of small receiverships. By the end of that summer, I honestly didn't know much, but what I did know was that I was really enjoying the industry and that I wanted to see where this career would take me. I came back as a graduate and spent a year at EY's Dublin office, passing the first set of ACAs before transferring to the London office. I loved being in Dublin, but ultimately the social aspect was too challenging for me, of being in a new country and only knowing people from work. I spent another 3.5 years at the EY London office, working in the turnaround and restructuring team. Working for a big firm certainly has its perks, and I did thoroughly enjoy my time there. But one thing that stuck with me was the pressure that it placed on its juniors. A lot of flexibility was introduced during COVID, and my time was greatly affected by it, and juggling studying for the ACAs along with busy projects and unpredictable working hours. But while my more senior colleagues in COVID were able to adjust their working hours around dog walking and childcare responsibilities, as somebody quite junior without any of those responsibilities, I was expected to work not just my working hours, but theirs as well. Despite this, I thoroughly enjoyed my time at EY, and I got to learn a huge amount working on a big range of projects across different teams outside of insolvency. I even joined the netball team, and I still stay in touch with those friends today. The cultural challenges at EY are ultimately what led me to move to the Alvarez & Marsal financial and restructuring team. I'd really enjoyed my time working on working capital and liquidity projects at EY, and financial restructuring had quite a lot of overlap, so I thought, great. When the opportunity was placed in front of me and I was approached with a new job, I took it. Didn't really think it through, I'll be honest. So I did find that my year at A&M was the toughest experience to date, but it taught me so many things that I would never change it for the world. I learned, for example, that as an accountant, surprisingly, I do not like Excel. I do not like spending hours and hours analysing complex models, working all hours of the night, or slaving away over a tiny part of a very big project. So I took a different approach with deciding my next career move. I realised that I'd actually really enjoyed insolvency and that I'd missed the report writing and the analytical elements of it, and that that's what I wanted to focus on. I also took into account this time that I needed to be in a nicer working environment that was much less harsh and that would nurture me rather than just discourage me. Buchler Phillips' reputation as a boutique insolvency practice with a wide range of cases that are all over the news really drew me in. I've been at the firm just under a year now and I'm thoroughly enjoying my time here. I'm managing a lot of liquidations, administrations and a CDA, and I get to work alongside our partners and manage the work of juniors. Getting the full picture on my cases is proving invaluable for me as I finally have a good idea of what's going on across the board and getting to learn a huge amount just because of what I'm exposed to. My current favourite case is a family-run company that's in CDL. The directors have removed nearly $500,000 of assets pre-appointment, and the directors genuinely do not understand that just because the assets are bought with loans by the family does not mean that the family own those assets. So we have thoroughly investigated this for the D report, and I'm having a great time on that, probably because there'll be a big realisation at the end of it. At Buchler Phillips, we are finding that more and more of our cases are requiring very detailed and scrupulous investigations of what the directors are up to pre-appointment. And I think this will continue in the coming months as we're finding ourselves getting very busy across a wide range of sectors. So if you can learn one thing from me, it would be this. Change is a good thing. While it does seem scary, it enables you to develop new skills and to apply them into new situations and to grow. So if you are faced with a change in life, please embrace that change, as it will help you to develop in the long run. Thank you for your time.